We have a great panel with us today to talk about the business of local sports. Before we start, I'd like to thank the organizations that make the Power Breakfast series possible. You'll hear from our two presenting sponsors in a minute. They're Carlisle & Conlon and Cusick Financial Group. And our corporate sponsors are A&B Personnel Services, Coldwell Banker Commercial, Cranfield, Sumner and Hartzog, First Federal, McGladrey, McGuire Woods, New Hanover Regional Medical Center, North Carolina Ports, PPD, Smithmore Leatherwood, UNCW's Cameron School of Business, Wachovia Bank, and WILM TV. If we could please have a round of applause for all of our sponsors. We'll now hear from Brian McMurdy of Carlisle & Conlon and then Pat Cusick of Cusick Financial.
Thanks, Rob. Good morning. Well, the Wilmington Business Journal did it again. Look at this place. It's packed. I hope you all appreciate what happens here. This is just not something that just happens. The Wilmington Business Journal team puts a lot of effort into pulling together these power breakfasts for us so that so many leaders of our community can network, have a good breakfast, and hear from an all-star panel like we have today, talking about a topic that many of us should be interested in if we're not yet. So thank you to the Wilmington Business Journal team for making this happen, and thank you to our panelists for giving of your time this morning. I'm Brian McMurdy. I'm the managing partner of Carlisle & Conlon. We're one of the region's largest and fastest growing executive search firms. On behalf of Anastasia Pucci, my partner, Don Alexander, our Vice President of Life Sciences, and the entire Carlisle & Conlon team, I welcome you to today's Power Breakfast. So U.S. unemployment is 9.6% overall. You'd think that search firms like ours would be out of business. But in fact, our account executives are incredibly busy, surprisingly busy. And so are the top account executives in the country. And why is that? Because it's really hard right now to get the right people on the bus. People are really conservative. They're elusive. A lot of people have made it through the staff cuts. They're battle worn, and they are just not going to go for anything unless it's a clear-cut move for betterment of their career path. Compensation is good, but you better be a darn good company. It's really hard. It's like going out on Christmas Eve and going out to find the toy that your child has wanted, the one toy your child wants for Christmas. And every other kid in the world wants that same toy. And you go to Toys R Us and every other toy store, and thousands of toys, but the chances of you finding the right toy are very remote. That's what the market's like right now. Clients need specific skill sets. Those skill sets are in high demand, and they're hard to get. So a lot of companies are turning to search firms to help them find the right people for their team. They don't know what to look for. What I'd suggest is that you look for a search firm where the people who are actually going to do the work, the account executives, have been in the business for a while and they're successful. At Carlisle & Conlon, our account executives average more than 13 years in this business, and 75% of them are annual President's Club members every year. Worldwide, executive search firms have account executives with only 5% making President's Club in any 1 year. Our search managers have more than 6 years of experience on average, and you can't find numbers like that anywhere around here, and very few firms in the world have numbers to match up like that. Something else I look for in a search firm is their processes and the tools they use to find the right candidates in a timely manner. Most recruiters can't tell you concisely, clearly, consistently how they do what they do. At Carlisle & Conlon, we have a 6-stage process that we use on every single search, and I'd put our tools up against any search firm in the world, finding the right candidates quickly. So it's still all about getting the right people on the bus. It's just harder than heck right now to do it. So many companies are turning to search firms to assist, and we'd like to help you if you have needs. So on behalf of the entire Carlisle & Conlon team, I hope you're able to take away just a few nuggets of good information that are valuable to you and your teams, and we're proud to be a sponsor of the Power Breakfast. Thank you.
Well, good morning. I'm Pat Cusick, president of Cusick Financial Group. We're an independent financial services firm affiliated with LPL Financial. We provide conflict-free financial planning services, investment advice, and asset management services. From your company's 401k plan to your individual retirement plan, we can help. Now, this year we've been building a financial toolbox, which we have here. It's getting heavier. Now, the first thing we did was talk about the level. Anybody remember what that was all about? Is your financial advisor on the level? And then last time we talked about the plane and how that smooths out the edges of your portfolio, just like rebalancing and diversification does. Now, today's topic centers around sports. Different sports have referees, umpires, judges, and lots of other officials to ensure that everyone plays by the rules. If you're out of bounds, holding, or using unnecessary roughness, you can be penalized. You might even be asked to sit on the sidelines. And if your actions are severe enough, you may even be taken out of the game. Now, let me tell you a story about a gentleman named Brian Davis, a professional golfer who was about to win his first ever PGA tournament at Hilton Head in April. Davis had knocked his approach shot into a hazard adjacent to the 18th green, where his ball found a playable lie around the debris. During his backswing, Davis accidentally touched a loose reed with his club. Now, picture this, barely touching a loose reed. Now, that's illegal according to the rules. And although the officials didn't see this infringement, and it was not picked up by television commentators at the time, Davis immediately alerted the referees. In doing so, he received a 2-stroke penalty and obliterated any chance of winning the event, one of the most prestigious tournaments in America. Now, the kicker's not that Davis brushed the reed with his backswing, it's that his action was barely discernible, even in slow motion. And the real story is that he voluntarily called the violation on himself, costing him the win, more than $400,000 in tournament winnings, and countless additional dollars in endorsements. So what's the moral of the story? Davis believed his real victory that day was in doing the right thing, even though no one was going to see him and how much it was going to cost him. His actions demonstrated the highest degree of honesty and integrity. And he did the right thing even though no one was looking, no matter what the cost. His commitment to integrity is an example not merely to other sports, but to the world of politics, banking and finance, and anywhere else where rules and values ought to matter. So whether it's the line judge at a tennis match, the umpire at your child's baseball game, the highway patrol on Interstate 40, the state insurance commissioner, or the Securities and Exchange Commission, these people are all there to make sure that we play by the rules. And perhaps the last official that we hear is our conscience, that little voice inside that prompts us to play by the rules even though no one is looking. So today I'd like to bring out the most important tool that's ever going to be in that toolbox, and you'll have to look very carefully to see it. In fact, it's the most important tool in finances, sports, politics, and life. It's your integrity. Thanks a lot.